Hello, hello. In today's video, we're going over the top 5 most hated submarines in World of Warships for 2025. Yes, I know it's 2026, but I haven't had time to record these, so I need to do this for 2025 because I forgot to do them. So yeah, rip to that one. Anyway, so we'll be going over the top 5 most hated submarines in World of Warships. So write down in the comments what submarines you think they're going to be. But let's get started and talk about number 5. Now, at number 5, we're going to have the Boleo. Now, the Boleo is the tech tree tier 10 for the Americans. And oh boy, this thing is a menace at tier 10. This thing has a total of 10 torpedoes, 6 on the bow and 4 on the aft. And the reason why this thing is a little menace is due to the fact that people love to do donuts in this thing. They call it the fidget spinner of the submarines. But it's not the first fidget spinner of WoWs, but it is one of the fidget spinner submarines. It's very fast, 31.5 knots, and it has a great consummate as well. So this thing, essentially, what people do is they just do donuts. So you'll see this thing doing donuts over and over again, and this is one of the more popular tech tree tier 10 submarines. So more people are going to be leaning toward this one for the first one they play. So a lot of people hate this thing because they see this thing. So like, first off, right, they see a ping, they see 6 torpedoes coming at them, they dodge those, right? And then instantly right after, they have 4 torpedoes coming at them from the rear. So it's a very much of a nuisance submarine to face. It's number 5 for a reason. It's not the most hated, but it definitely does get some hate. All right, for number 4, it's going to be the U-190. U-190 is the tier 8 tech tree for the Germans. This thing is a true menace at tier 8, having one of the best submarine surveillances at tier 8. It's technically I say it's the best tier 8 submarine for World of Warships to tech tree wise. But it has 4 torpedoes at the front, 2 at the aft, with a 12.5 kilometer range. Yeah, this thing is a true menace at the tier. It's really good at hunting submarines, really good at harassing flanks. This thing does donuts as well. Most people are just going to hate, most of this list are just going to be submarines that either are donating or just do massive damage for torps. But yeah, this thing's an absolute menace. When you see a U-190 on the enemy team, oh boy, you know you're going to be in a world of suffering if you're in a battleship or a cruiser that doesn't have long-range ASW, because yeah, 12.5 kilometer range for the torpedoes, by the way. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Very long range. Ugh. Yeah, maneuverability 29 knots is also pretty good as well. So yeah, very annoying to face, especially when you're coming up the tiers. So like, say you're new to the game, you're coming up the tiers and you see this thing, you're like, oh, what does that thing do? And then you just get nuked over and over again by those torps. Yeah, not fun at all. Not fun at all. All right, number 3 is going to be the Archerfish. So the Archerfish, you can get it currently for steel in the armory. As you can see, I put the cum camo on this thing just because it's rightfully deserved. Yeah, this thing is hated for 2 reasons, okay? One is the fact that this thing gets a heal. Not only does it get a heal, it gets a combat instruction. This combat instruction makes it where it has a faster reload for its torpedoes, as well as a faster preparation time for its consumables. So if it takes any sort of damage, sorry. If it hits torpedoes, or if it receives any potential damage, as you can see, it gets its combat instruction really fast. So, and that allows you to get your heal back quicker, your DCP, your engine boost, everything, which is absolutely insane, right? So that's already a pain in the butt to deal with, okay? This thing also has guns, which is Mimi, of course. It's Mimi to do with the guns. But it has 10 torpedoes like it does the Boleo. But these things they hit really hard, by the way. Really, really hard. And they have a really accurate tracking compared to the Boleo. And they do a lot of damage. People do not, and like, essentially, if you're in a cruiser, or you're even if in a battleship and you're dealing with this thing, you're just going to be in a load of pain dealing with those torpedoes. And not even to mention, this thing has a base speed with the signals, with the speed signal, with 34.7 knots, by the way. And that doesn't even include when you have the enlarged propeller active and the engine boost. This is the fastest submarine in the game, going like roughly 40 something knots. when it's at periscope or on the surface, when you have the enlarged propeller and that engine boost active, it is insane. So you already know how hard it is to hit the submarines as it is, right? It's already really hard to hit them. Now you times that by like 3, and this is the speed of this archerfish. Now if the archerfish dives to 30 and 60, it's slow, as you can see here. But at the surface or periscope, it is a speed demon. Destroyers have a trouble catching up to it. Cruisers definitely aren't going to be able to, and neither do battleships. This is a speed drifting machine. And it's number 3 for a good reason, just because it is so hard to deal with and so hard to hit with ASW. This thing is so fast that the automatic ASW on aircraft carriers are not able to hit it when it's going full speed. So when you have the enlarged propeller active and then you have the engine boost active, you're just going full speed and you're pinging, the aircraft carrier, when it does the automatic ASW, it's not able to hit it. So it's so fast, it legit breaks the game logic on the automatic ASW, which is supposed to hit no matter what, which is absolutely insane to think about. That is so fast, it legit breaks the game. So it's number 3 on the most hated submarines. All right, so for number 2, we have the Orona's Whale / I-5644. They're essentially the same thing, right? One you had to pay a gazillion dollars for, and this one you just have to pay steel for. Okay, so they're the same thing, right? Why do people hate this ship so much? So I want you guys to take a look at this torpedo damage real quick. 27,000 damage, by the way, for torpedoes. And I want you to look at that reload. I want you to take a look at that reload. 38 seconds, by the way. 38 seconds. So you do 27,000 damage in 38-second reload, okay? Now, the thing is, with this ship, the homing only goes to 8.5, right? So the torpedo range is 15 kilometers. So with a homing of 8.5 and a range of 15 kilometers, how do you think this ship is supposed to be played? This ship is meant to be played as a whole flank deterrent on its own. You can sit this thing down on the 1 line or the 10 line or any torpedo lane where you know ships are going down and just spam a wall of torpedoes every 38 seconds, by the way. It is absurdly insane. Also, funny enough, it gets guns on it, and it gets a reload booster by all means. And on top of that, it gets a 90-second reserve battery time when you build into it. It's absurdly insane how strong this submarine is as just being a flank deterrent. People thought the Archerfish was bad. They thought the Baleo was bad. No, this is a whole nother level. If you have a good player in an I-5644 just sitting down the 1 line or 10 line and you try to push this thing, it's going to be almost impossible to push because all it has to do is just reverse, right? So it's not meant to push down a lane. It's meant to essentially play like a bow win Aki or a Yamato, just sitting bow win, just reversing, just chilling, launching torpedoes endlessly over and over and over again. It does have an issue fighting other submarines, but it's still, it has a gun, so it's kind of memey, And even though the damage does go lower, so if you look here, the maximum damage threshold is 12 kilometers. It means essentially even at 8.5 kilometers with the hope where the sonar is, you're still doing massive damage. So even though it's like, oh, well, the maximum damage isn't until 12 kilometers. No. You're doing massive damage no matter the distance. Within 3 kilometers, yeah, you're not doing as much, but outside of that, you're still doing massive damage with these torpedoes. Now, other than that, this thing is really, the consumables really bad. The speeds, it's okay, but the turning radius is really bad on this thing. So essentially, you're just playing a bow wind, right? It's literally a bow wind torpedo spamming machine, and that's why it's number 2 on this most hated list. And of course, for number 1, we have the U-45. Of course, it's number 1. It's the most played submarine in World of Warships. And I wonder why, okay? I just wonder why. Let's go over and figure out why, guys. Let's just figure this out. So it has 4 torpedoes at the front, right? 4 at the front. 10 kilometer range. 10,000 damage, 86 knot speed, right? So that's okay, right? And then you got 6 on the rear. Okay, so you got 6 torpedoes on the rear. Okay, and these have a 60-second reload for torpedoes, okay? 60-second reload, okay? survivability is really low. It doesn't have that much HP, but look at that concealment. 5.4 kilometers. Okay, why? Why does it need that? So one, it's one of the stealthiest things in the game, right? 10 torpedoes. It has 4 at the front, 6 at the rear. Oh yeah, what's its dive capacity? Base. Like, I don't think I really built into it, do I? Okay, so not base. It's a little bit built into it. So about 4 minutes. You have like about a 4-minute time for the dive capacity, okay? It also gets, when you build into it, 3 reserve battery units, which means it can stay underwater for a total about 5.5 minutes, okay? 5.5 minutes or so. It also gets a heal. It gets a 6-kilometer submarine surveillance, and then it gets an infinite amount of hydrophones. And people underestimate just how good the hydrophone really is. Right? So it can stay underwater for a very long time. So let's look at this maneuverability. Oh, on the surface, it's 21 knots. It's pretty slow, right? That turn radius, though, 310 meters, by the way. This thing can turn on a dime. Like an actual dime. It is really hard to predict. Like, this thing is really hard to predict on which way it can go or how fast it's turning. And this is why everyone hates the U-45, is because just how tight that turning radius is. It can turn on a dime and slow down really fast to make it where you're not able to hit it accurately with the ASW planes. Okay, now if you're used to fighting U-45, you have a better chance, but a lot of the time, if they're good, you're not going to hit them. Now, I want you guys to look at this final number right here. This right here, 37.8 knots, by the way, underwater. So at 30 and 60 meters, this thing goes faster than a lot of the tier 10 destroyers, okay? 37.8 knots. That is insane how fast this goes underwater. This thing can go from around like 3/4 of the map in and go all the way under the whole your team and to the enemy side in that time with the battery and using the batteries during it. So it can sneak under the whole enemy side. It can go back to the back lines every time. And it's one of the most popular things you see U-45s doing. It's absurdly insane how many people do this. And even though this thing costs coal, a lot of coal, it is #1 most played submarine in World of Warships. And it's just how absurdly broken it is. Because you get 4 torpedoes at the front, right? And then you do a quick turnout. And then by the time they're dodging the first set, if they DCP'd, you then hit them with a double whammy with the 6. So you can launch 3 at first off of one side and have it pinged. And then you can launch 3 off the other side and do like a verging, cross-torping death onto whoever you're going after, right? And it's just absurdly strong. And it's why it's #1 on this most hated list. And there's no question this is the most hated submarine in World of Warships. When you see this thing on the enemy side, you just dread life because you know that if it's on your flank, you're going to be a world of pain. And that's #1. So yeah, this is the list for 2025. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and if your thoughts about the most hated match mine or what your most hated submarines are to fight. But this is my list for the most hated submarines. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys in the next one. Deuces.